Start recording. All right. So we're going to paint it directly on the canvas, and to be able to do it, let's break it into layers or plans. And we're going to start from the back, from the layer that is on the back. What do we have in the back? We have this kind of blue wall here on the back, and we have the little leaves and little branches on the back. And for now we're going to ignore all these berries and leaves that are in the front. Okay, so we're going to start from this corner and just go over the whole thing. We have light blue wall, darker, kind of dark turquoise leaves, and this darker spot right here, and that's it. So we're going to start with this blue wall, and I'm not going to mix colors on a palette. I'm just going to mix it directly on the canvas.
And you're using a flat brush?
I'm using flat brush so I can cover more space. And for some reason, let's see, I don't have brightness 90. Okay, my monitor. Do you see the canvas? Can you see it well?
Yeah.
It's not too dark?
Far. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something's going on with my monitor, the second one, but that's okay. All right. So let's see what color we're going to use. It looks like it's ultramarine, but it also has this greenish turquoisey stuff, so we're going to use that famous phthalo blue or cyan. Cyan, something. Okay, ultramarine. Here we go. This is ultramarine. This is phthalo blue, and this is white. And I'm mixing it directly on canvas. Let's see, I'm gonna cover the whole thing. Probably I should have used bigger brush, but it's okay. I'm gonna use this one. Okay. White. Add some white into it. White and blue. Okay. And while I'm painting, I'm going to add other colors. For example, white, maybe a little bit of cadmium yellow. Maybe it's too much, but it's okay. I'm gonna mix it, a little more white. Then white and maybe a little bit of crimson. I'll put it in some places. Here we go, a little more white. A little more. And gradually I'm going to block all the white spots on the canvas. Okay. Like this. And more white. Maybe more phthalo blue. And white. So already I'm creating a lot of different hues in the background, and I'm also turning kind of brush to wipe it off excess of the paint. Here we go. And gradually I'm going to block the whole thing. All right. Now I have beautiful mess on my canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Clean my brush. And I'm going to dry it a little. Oops. Okay, and right now as I see it, it's a little too light. Maybe I'm going to add white and follow blue, maybe a little darker. Here we go, and work on top of this. And I have some spots of thick paint, so I'm going to break them. I don't want to have background have too much texture, but some texture would be nice. Okay, a little more follow blue. There we go. Breaking all this thick spots, and then white and ultramarine. It's a different hue. I'm gonna put it some places too. Here we go. Ultramarine, white. Okay. So now we are closer to the color that we want, but we don't have to be precise, and we have a lot of hues there. Now this area is going to be darker. I'm going to use phthalo blue and yellow ochre, maybe more phthalo blue and white. So this part is darker. And already when I'm making brush strokes, I'm kind of imitating that these are leaves. Then phthalo blue, white. I'm kind of mixing right in the canvas here. And a little bit of yellow ochre. A little more phthalo blue. Okay, there's gonna be other leaves here. They're kind of small, like this, right there. And here, again, phthalo blue, a little bit of white. There, there. More leaves here on the back, on the bottom. Ultramarine. Some leaves here. here. Cadmium yellow. Blue. Right there. Darker corner as well, right here. Maybe ultramarine. Here we go. So now we not only have a mess here, but we have really elaborate mess. Then we have some spots that we can see the flat wall. So I'm going to use phthalo blue and white, and it's going to be lighter. This is going to be the color of the wall. So wall is here and here. And the spot of the wall is open right here. So I'm working on the negative space right now, and here, like this, and some spots in between, a little bit here, and maybe a little bit of crimson on the wall, right there. Here, this, and this corner should be a little darker, so let's put some phthalo blue, white, and yellow ochre, all these leaves right there. Here we go. All right. So now we have background, and I give you time to work on it, and I'm going to turn off the mic and dry it with hair dryer. So let's mute it. So if I want to make broad stroke, I'm keep brush flat. Then this is gives thinner line, or I can turn it like this when or I can use. I start without pressure, then I press and relieve pressure, so it's kind of rounded the shape of the leaf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or you can turn it as you put the brush. It will create different types of strokes.
Okay.
Yeah. So your brush should move freely when you paint. It's not just one angle. Yeah, so you can manipulate brush in any way.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Sure. All right. And this is the canvas. And for the small leaves, of course, you can use round brush. I mean, so you can switch to different brushes. Okay, so now we have background. And now we can start working. Let's do a little bit of details on the background with smaller brush. So we have here 2 branches, and here as well. So this branch is kind of brown, one of them is green. Let's see, and then we can emphasize this darker area as well. So let's make brown branches. So burn umber, a little bit of white, and it's on the back, so it should be a little bit cool. So ultramarine into this to cool it, and it will create this grayish, bluish, brown, some indefinite color. So, unidentifiable color. Here you go. So we have one branch here, and then another here, and goes up. And some of the area of branches have this purplish hue, so I'm gonna add crimson right here, and there is dark green, so follow blue into the mix, and yellow ochre. So here is going to be darker green branch. There's another branch in here, then brown branches continue here, and one branch is here, like this. Then smaller green branches. One is right here. Yellow ochre. And color blue. Like this. And a couple of branches right there. This way, and there maybe. Then we have darker leaves in this area, so I'm going to paint darker background right there. Let's follow blue, yellow ochre, darker right there, and a little more follow blue right there. Okay, and to make it more kind of okay, and few branches here also, darker green. This, I mean darker blue, the branch here, and then I'm going to paint few leaves that have shape of the leaf. It's darker. There, and bunch of leaves here. And some of the leaves I'm going to paint lighter side right there. But it's still wet.
What color are you using there?
This is phthalo blue. I mix some of it with yellow ochre and white. Here we go. Let's put leaves there. Maybe a few right here. And bunch of here.
Luna, shh, shh.
So you don't have to be really kind of realistic, but put few of them here and there. Like this. Like this. Here on the front layer we're going to have a lot of details, so we don't need to put too much on the back, just a little. Now in this darker area I painted darker background, but now I can paint few leaves that are lighter than this background. So I'm gonna use white, blue, a little bit of cadmium yellow. So I have one leaf here, maybe here. Then I'm gonna mix darker color, so not all the leaves should be the same. Another one here. Lighter one here and here. All right. And now the branch is gonna go from here like this. Like this. So when you put a few details here and there that are sharper, it's gonna create this illusion of many details. Don't worry right now about making it too detailed, because we're gonna have some stuff in front, and later when we have stuff in front layer we can always go back to background and refine it. So now basically background is done, so I'll give you time to finish it up, and I'm going to dry it and then we will continue. Alright, so now we have background. So let's see what is going to be next layer. So next layer, this is front. So next layer would be this branch of light leaves here, and light leaves right there behind the berries, and light leaves on the back that are not in the focus. They're kind of blurry on the back, and few leaves here and there. Okay, so let's work on this branch. I'm going to draw the branch with the color, which is kind of light brownish, bluish, grayish. So basically I'm going to use white, burnt umber. Oh, I have phthalo blue on my brush that I didn't clean. Okay, white, burnt umber, maybe a little bit of crimson. It's pretty light. So I have one branch coming here, even lighter. Then it's going to go this way and going this way. This is light part of this branch, and then darker I'm going to add burn umber and paint the darker part here. Oh, my brush is horrible. Okay. Okay. And a few highlights on this branch. So I have here highlight, here. Like this. Now, leaves. I have one leaf here, which is really okay. This branch is actually darker and it's lower. It's gonna go here. Then from this branch, I'm going to have light leaf. This one, and this. So 5 leaves on this cluster. And I'm going to start with darker color, so it's kind of light green, ultramarine, cadmium yellow. Yeah, it should work. So one leaf is going to be here. For now I'm just painting it in one color. Then another one is here, opposite 1, opposite 2, and the lone one is here. Now I got the basic color. Now this leaf has really light side, so yellow ochre, white, and this lower part of the leaf is going to be really light. This one, the whole leaf is really light, kind of yellow ochre. Here we go. Maybe a little lighter. This one side is yellow ochre. This one mostly green. It's just one side is a lighter green, another side is slightly darker green. It's too dark. And this one, this part is green and it has the shadow. This part is light green, like this, and the upper part is that yellow ochre, really light, especially here on the base of the leaf, like this. And slightly lighter here. Then this one lighter on the base, still green. This one, and all leaves on the bottom, on the base of the leaf, it has this reddish spot, so crimson and white right there, and also they have this red spots right here, cadmium red. Right. Oops, it's too dark. Here. Okay. Brighter. This spot here. The spots. And this spot. And the central stem on the leaf is also kind of red. it's too thick, so I'm going to make it thinner. But of course I don't have to be, again, too precise. And too accurate. Give it one more color. Here we go. And it's really bright on this side. Like this. Now also we have one bright leaf right here. Another one is here. And on the back. Like this. On this side of this leaf, well, it gets too big, but it's okay. Alright. Also on the back we have lighter green leaves. So we have one here. One is here. Another one is cooler, so a little more phthalo blue right there. And that's enough. So again, I don't want to put too much attention there, just enough stuff that to show that this is there. Now another group of leaves is right here. So probably somewhere here. It's also light green. So one leaf here. The base color. My paint was already dry, so I have a problem with getting my paint. Another leaves here, another is here. Then the upper part of the leaf is kind of crimson. This. Some crimson spots right there, like this. Another leaf is right there. All right, good enough. Now while I'm here, I'm going to just refine these leaves on the back, just to give them some shape, like this one, like this, and maybe here and here. Again, I don't want to go too far. Glaze it and make it softer. Transition right there. And a couple of small ones. Here we go. Okay. Now here are the few leaves on the back that are lighter. So yellow ochre, white, maybe not too yellow. So have few on the back. There and there. Now here, maybe a little warmer, some orange. And they're really small there.
It's just yellow ochre?
Yellow ochre, yes, and white. Then
and white.
few are there. Don't worry if they're not gonna be in the right spot. As long as there is something there, it works. And try to paint them in slightly different colors. So change the color a little bit. I'm gonna put some crimson, make it kind of brownish, like this. Blue is here. Move it there. Like this. Alright, and also a few leaves here on the back, but they're darker, so crimson, ultramarine, and I put few in there too. Again, variate colors, don't paint them all the same. Alright, maybe put a couple here. This and some branches. I'm gonna use their number and crimson. So there's a few branches right there. And here. And darker ultramarine and crimson, so darker purple branches here. So I'm creating this seemingly chaotic, unpredictable shapes of the branches in different locations. Go. Maybe a couple of brighter spots so you can see kind of like a wall in the back right here, negative spaces, and maybe here. A little darker of this corner. Alright. Okay, I'll give you time to work on it, and then we will continue. So basically I'm just spread some colors on the back, and then so they're not really defined, and the shapes are kind of rough, but it's okay. Then we're going to paint front layer. Oh, Diane is here. Well,
Hello, me too.
Let me say you one thing. When you start painting, you have to forget about taxes, problems, wars, politics, food, drinks, and forget in general about your life. Just focus on painting.
That's why I love it so much. It'll take you there, huh?
Taxes are not gonna go anywhere. They can wait. No, not really. I know.
Well, that's what I
You know, you have.
No, what?
I think I officially have a new dog.
Wow. So basically what we're doing, we're creating kind of mess in the background with general blue color or dominant blue color. And we put kind of imitations of foliage on the back. So you don't have to really paint all the leaves. You just make a bunch of brush strokes and then add a couple of leaves, like all of them are leaves, but you don't really have to paint all of them, just a couple of them, that's it. So we are painting in kind of layers coming from back to front. So don't be concerned too much if it's too messy, because the most important part, if you paint the front layer, all these leaves in front and then berries, background is just going to be somewhere on the back, and it's not really important. Okay, I think we should continue. Let's start with this cluster of leaves. So we have a bunch of lighter leaves here, somewhere here. Let's paint them. And okay, let me clean the palette first. Everything is drying fast.
Bigger too.
So let's paint lighter leaves on the back, right this ones, and it's gonna be white, yellow ochre, a little bit of phthalo blue, cadmium yellow. So okay, we have one leaf here, 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 there, there, and let's add some color to it. So one is going to be lighter, for example this one on the back, and this one, and the bottom of this leaf or top part of this leaf is going to be lighter, and this is going to be light like this, and then bunch of leaves on the back like this, and that's it. So we have those leaves on the back. Now we have 3 leaves which are darker here, 2 smaller ones and 1 big one, and they're kind of cool. So phthalo blue and a little bit of yellow ochre and white. So we have one, and they're kind of darker. Let's see. Okay, so one is going to be here like this, another one is here, and the big one is right here. So this is base color. Now let's take a look. The top of this leaf is really dark, so phthalo blue, a little bit of yellow ochre. So this tip is darker, then it's gonna get lighter. On this one the upper part is darker, on this one the base is darker. Now the light on this leaf is really blue, so right here is lighter blue, and this part is also blue, and this part is kind of blue. On this one the middle section is blue, and on this one the lower part is kind of blue. Okay, now they're kind of blended with background, so let's work around to bring them up front. So between these two, there is a dark leaf on the back. So ultramarine, burn umber. I'm gonna put this dark leaf on the back, right there. Then we have shadow here on the bottom. And brown spot right there in between those two. So now these leaves are getting kind of shape. Now the branch coming from here goes this way. There is another branch goes this way. On the lower leaf we have lighter leaf on the back, so let's paint this on the back, yellow ochre. So this part is really light, more yellow ochre, right, like this. And another light leaf is here. Then brighter green is going to be here. So now I worked around this leaf to emphasize it, so now it has a shape. But again, I don't have to really paint all details. Okay, there is a shape, good. It's kind of recognizable. This is leaf. Right there, I'm going to put lighter spot because this part of the leaf is dark. So let's put lighter spots on the background. And it will define the shape of this leaf, and that's it. Now darker branch is going to go from here and here, going up. So I don't have to be really precise and paint everything that's there, but okay, this is indication there is a branch there. And another branch, and another, and that's enough. Now, there are some berries there, so let's paint berries while we're here. Crimson, cadmium red. So we have one berry here, just base color. Another one is right here, maybe here, the lighter. And bunch of berries right there on the back, and here like this, another one there. Here under the leaves, one bunch of there, and in front of this leaf, one, the big one here. And bunch of berries right there. Again, you don't have to put precisely or count precisely how many berries are there. You just put some of them right there. There's a big cluster right here. Okay.
What color is that? It's crimson and what?
It's crimson and cadmium red.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So now...
Oh my gosh, the paint's drying so fast.
Yeah, it dries very fast. Now, there are few big leaves here. So one is here, another is here, and another is here. And it's kind of... okay, follow blue, white, cadmium yellow, yellow ochre. So we have one big leaf here, another one from here. It's really long, like this, and then another one is here. Some of the leaves on the back, one coming this way, and on the back right there. So the back one, I'm gonna use more phthalo blue, ultramarine, make it darker, especially here. This one darker on the bottom, and it's kind of warmer, the leaves that are in the back. So yellow ochre, maybe cadmium yellow, make it more green. So this one is warmer. This one in the center, a bit more yellow. Okay, and this one has more light here. So the tip is kind of bluish, like this. And the central vein is really light, like this, and a few coming this way. It's kind of cool. Okay, this one leaves. All right. So upper part is cooler. Some green. Like this. So this side of the leaf, the background is really light. So I'm going to paint some light background here. And here. Then lighter leaf and a background right here. Now there is some drop shadows under the berries, so I'm going to mix phthalo blue, yellow ochre, and paint some shadows right there. To separate this leaf and this leaf, I'm going to paint lighter leaf on the back. So let's see, a little lighter here. And again, I don't really have to paint all these details. On this one, there is really bright this leaf here, and it's going to help to bring this leaf forward. So white and yellow ochre, and we have this bright leaf right there. And we have also kind of bright red branch coming here, going this way, continue this way, and this is branch that coming there, and this way, and goes to lower corner like this, and a few. It's kind of rough. My brushes doesn't give me nice point at this point, but it's okay. Some highlights, some branch, right there. And then on the same branch we have more light leaves, so white and yellow ochre. So we have one is under this small one, then another one, then we have 1, 2, and the bigger one, then we have bigger one here, bunch of one small, one bigger, and right there, somewhere here, the big one. Now this is base color, so now I can refine it a little. So this leaf has a little more green, so I'm gonna put green there, and it's a little darker on top, and this part is greener. This one is green, the whole leaf. This one stays yellow. This one upper part is green, and this one is yellow, but it has some red also. So white, cadmium red, cadmium yellow. Okay, so this one has red on the base right there. This one also has red. This one kind of in the center and on the bottom. This one also has red on top. Those are a little bit of green on one side and much lighter yellow ochre and white. Let's make it lighter. So on this side, this one on this side, then this one, the upper part, and this one on the base. This is good, this is good, and the tip is going to be a little cooler with this one, like this. And the central vein is kind of red in all of them. So red, red, this, okay. Oh, one leaf is there also. It's kind of big and bright. Like this. Okay, and the shadow under the berries there and there. And now while I'm here, I'm going to put light on the berries, which is yellow cadmium. So this is light, this is light, this is light. Okay, here. Like this. And the highlight is going to be ultramarine and lots of white. So highlight is kind of cool. I'm gonna put it, it's a little dot here. Here we go. Highlight, maybe it's too bright, but it's okay. I'm always can go back and glaze it. So that's fine. All right. Okay, I'll let you work on it for a few minutes. So what's the next step? We have berries right there, right there. We're going to wait for now because they are on the very front. But we have the cluster of berries right there, which is in the back. So let's paint it. So while we're working on those berries, those going to dry, and then we can put leaves right there. Okay, so they are somewhere in this area, and again I'm going to start with a mix of crimson and cadmium red, maybe a little bit of white to make it more opaque. So this cluster is going to be somewhere here, 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 and it's kind of triangular shape. So right there, like this, and a bunch of here, couple of berries on top. Some of them are dark, really dark. For example, right here in the center, going to be dark on the back. This one is dark. And here, going to be dark. Okay. Now I have this cluster. Now let's continue with other berries. So white, crimson, and cadmium. Okay. Now I have berries right there. So I have few. There are many of them. Again, make sure when you create this bunch of berries, they are not in the same distance. Some of them closer, some of them separated. This all together. Some of them lighter, some of them darker. Then one is right there. Again, you don't really have to count them. And then we have big cluster behind of this leaf. And in front, right here. few on the back. Now a couple bright ones in between those two. And that's it. That's enough for now. Also, I'm going to paint branches that are connect all these berries. So one lighter branch, yellow ochre and white is gonna, and a little bit of crimson, so it's cooler. It's gonna go from this part down to this. So there is one big one that goes from top to bottom. So from here, it's gonna go all the way like this, go down like this. And they are kind of connected. So when it goes down, it gets darker. So ultramarine. It's gonna go down. Then from here is gonna be another branch. Goes this way. And in front of this branch goes this way and all the way to the corner. There are going to be leaves here. Then another one is crossing from here this way. Go this way. It's darker. This. And light follow blue. It's lighter here. This. Little red. This way, and this way. This. And kind of a yellow, red branch coming from here. This way and goes down from here. All right, on this branch we have light leaves, so white and yellow ochre, and we have one small leaf here, another one bigger here, and lemon yellow on this part, and a little leaf sticking out right there. Okay, now we have two more lighter ones here, one small one and one big one there, and the one on the back is kind of cooler and slightly darker, so let's put this cooler green and a little brighter here like this. Okay. Now here we have light green leaf, so lemon yellow, yellow ochre, and follow blue. Okay, should work. Okay, so we have one bigger one right there. Smaller one here. And smaller one right here. So on this one, yellow in the center and cooler greenish is going to go on the perimeter here, like this, and on top, actually almost blue. So follow blue and white on top of this leaf, like this. This is cooler side here and here. More yellow in the center, and also more yellow in the center of this one and this one, and brownish kind of central vein here and here. It's a little darker. This and on this one there's a spot like this, and then cooler green, so white, follow blue, lemon yellow, few leaves here on the back, like this. Then few brighter ones, so one is here and another one, actually three, two smaller and one bigger like this. Okay. All right, now we have this bunch right here. So darker green leaves on the back, but still pretty light. So we have one big one right here, bunch of others like this, and let's separate them. So this is going to be darker, this one darker, this part is darker. Okay, one big one here, and lighter on the back. This. Okay. And maybe work with darker background to emphasize the shape of this leaf. Like this, go around a little. There we go. This one is darker. This darker. There we go. And now we have lighter ones in front of this berries. So white and yellow ochre, a little bit of cadmium yellow, cadmium red. So we have one goes this way, another one this way, then another one here, the big one right here, this, then the small one here, then three bright ones in a corner, 1, 2, and the big one here, and then slightly darker one is here, and then greener, green one, and a bunch of greener ones, here and here. This one, the bright one in the back. This one have this red vein here. Reddish base. All right. So a few details here and there. Like this. All right. On this one also, the central. There's a shadow. Thinner.
What's that plant called again?
I'm sorry?
What's that plant called again?
This is heavenly bamboo.
That looks so cool.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. All the leaves, they're different color. So the same bush has leaves that it's like the full range from green to red and everything in between at the same time.
Really good leaf prints.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like a bamboo. I didn't know it's bamboo. So
I didn't know bamboo had these berries on it.
yeah,
Well, it's not really bamboo. It's fake bamboo.
I guess so. Yeah. All right. Now I have also a bunch of leaves here. Each are lighter, phthalo blue, cadmium yellow. Kind of like I have this green one right here, and then another one, and another one. So for now I'm just blocking the color of the same green, but then I'm gonna go back and add variations to this color. For example, like this leaf, it's a little more blue on top, on the tip, but then it's more yellow on the base, and it's has this red stem right there, and all of them have them like this. And the background here is darker on the left side right here, and on the tip but it has highlight on the back, on the bottom right here, so it's lighter. And now this leaf is more yellow at the base right here, and then it gets greener on the tip, and there is an orange one on the back right there. And then another orange one is this one. And this one, the top of this leaf is in the shadow, so it's going to get darker. And then it gets green. And this a little darker, but the center is more yellow. Right there. On this one, oh, it has another leaf on the back which is lighter. I'll put it there. And the tip of this one is darker. And this. And those are some yellow ochre right there, and here, tip of it right there, and the red on this one, some more red, this more red. Okay, on this one we have the darker shadow on this side, and the shadow here, and lighter background right there. Like this. And lighter center. This one is darker. Okay. Now some branches. I'm gonna use brown and connect those berries. Use the branches. Some berries are darker. This. Shadow on the branch. The highlight on the branch. Right there. Okay, so now shadows on those berries is crimson and a little bit of cadmium, and the shadows are on the bottom, and some of the berries I'm going to paint darker, especially the ones that are on the back, and the shadows, shadow, shadow. Okay, now the light is going to be cadmium, a little bit of white, cadmium red, this is light, and again some of the berries are going to be brighter, some of them darker. Just kind of a round spot on the upper part of the berry. Just light. There we go. And highlight, oh actually some halftone, maybe I'm going to use white and crimson, so it's cooler kind of, just a couple of them, not everywhere. There we go. And then highlight is going to be cool, so white and ultramarine. This maybe a little bit of cadmium. So don't make highlights everywhere the same. Some of them are going to be darker, especially the ones on the back. So I'm gonna go with darker first. And then the brighter highlights going to be on the ones that is on the front, like this. Why highlight is blue, light blue? Why do you think it is? Because this bush is outside and it reflects the color of the sky and reflections from the walls, which are cool. All right, so that's what we have. Of course, we can go over and pick few leaves and really make them detailed, or you can just leave it as it is. So this is kind of like a quick sketch. And it doesn't require to make everything kind of highly detailed. So here it is. It's done for now.
Yours looks beautiful.
Yeah. So are you ready to show what you've done so far?
No, yours is beautiful.
Thanks.
No, you know what? I got my basic composition off.
Okay, good.
I like,
Let's see.
I like
The cranberries, I started with, I mixed crimson and cadmium red. It's kind of like a dark, cooler red. And then when it dried, I mixed more crimson, a little less cadmium as a shadow, the darker part. And then just pure cadmium. I painted the center of the. Let me actually get it closer so you can.
pure cadmium red.
Here we go.
That's the orangey kind of look, the orangish color.
So
Yep.
cadmium
I
red
see.
is this orangey, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
then cooler white with ultramarine as highlight.
Okay. That looks
So
great.
they're very simple. Yeah. And also, like, this area is dark.
Yeah.
This two berries are bright, and this is softer and darker. So it kind of, it's the cluster of berries. It also has its own volume, right? So this is light
Yeah.
area, so berries are lighter here, and this is shadow area, so berries are in general darker.
Can you send a photo of yours?
Of course, yeah. I'm going to send it, and
Yeah, that's beautiful.
you can see I painted this leaf, for example, very simple. It's just one brush stroke, and then I painted the center, the
Yeah.
thing, and that's fine. I mean, it's a fast sketch, so it doesn't have to be. Or the branches are very simple, but still,
Do you
like
have-
this
do you-
branch, it has
Uh-huh.
darker parts, the shadows, but some parts are lighter, and
Yeah.
it has different color. Like this one is greenish, this one has red in it. So just
Right.
use variations, and
Okay.
also berries. Some of them are bigger, some of them smaller. So also, this
Yeah.
one is small, but it doesn't have a highlight. It's fine. It's far. This one's, the highlight is not as bright like on this ones, so it's different. So use variations, and of course
And
all
do
the
you
leaves
do,
different. Yeah.
Yuri, do you ever use green, just green? Like,
I can use
green
green,
that
but
they-
I haven't used it for the simple reason it dried. It's completely dry. So I just mixed it.
oh, okay.
I haven't used it for a while and it dried. So.
Because I have like lime green and regular greens.
Yeah, you can
Yeah, you
use
should
greens. I
definitely use
mean,
those for the
if
leaves.
you have them, use them.
Yeah.
I have. It says green, and
Okay.
it looks green, so it must be green.
It must be green.
Hot damn. Amazing how that works.